I just want to show you really quick how you can add some nice definition onto your baby's face by adding this sculpt slider. So there's a window here, and then there's a fill light coming in. So he doesn't have very strong shadows on his face, which is kind of intentional with the light and airy of the Christmassy scene. But what I want to do is just add some definition to his face. So in Evoto under skin retouching, there's this slider called Sculpt. So what this is doing is it's burning and dodging as we normally would for like if you were contouring with makeup. So under Sculpt, I'm going to bring it up so you can see. I'm going to bring these both down so you can see what they're doing individually. The facial features one is going to take his facial features and add shadow and light on either side of it to make it have more definition. So I'm going to bring this all the way up. And can you see how it added some shadow right here, right here? It added a little highlight down his nose. Let's do that again. Before and after. It's just giving him a tiny bit of definition. It's not changing his face at all. It's just making it look like we had better lighting on him to begin with to really define those features. Under facial contours, really what that's doing is adding some darkening around the forehead and jawline and into the shadow. So it's not adding quite as much over here. There's before, there's after. It's darkening it down all the way around here. Let me zoom out here so you can see. I'm going to do both of them together. I've got facial features and facial contours at 100%. There's before, there's after. And can you just see how much more definition we've got in his face before and after, before and after. And if it's too much, you can always back it off. But I really like the way that it helps define baby's features and just gives it a little bit of pop on that lighting, as if I'd had my light in just a little bit better spot. I find it particularly helpful when I have a baby that has shifted out of position and I haven't gotten a chance to dial in my lighting. I can just push that sculpt slider up and just give it an extra little pop. Now, one other thing that you can do is you can actually fake makeup onto a baby. It seems crazy because most babies, we're not going to add makeup onto them. But in this case, we're going to go to makeup, scroll down here, and there's this contour one here. I'm going to turn that up. So it's taking his face and adding some contouring. You can add just a teeny bit there and see what that does. You can also add some highlights. I really like this highlight one because it can help bring in some of those lights that seem just a little dim. Like if we've got a Rembrandt lighting, we want this little pocket of highlight on his cheek here. It's there, but it's so subtle in my original shot that you can't even really tell. But with that highlighter turned up, you can see it a little bit more. So contouring is going to darken things down a bit. Highlighter is going to enhance the highlights that are already there. So before and after, if you've got it at 100%, somewhere around 50 is going to be good. Maybe like 15 for the contour, and I don't want to change his face too drastically, but I do want to add some definition. So as if the baby were wearing makeup, it's enhancing his makeup, even though he's not wearing makeup, obviously. But if you go down to the makeup suite, this is where it's adding something that is not there. So now if we go to contour, it's going to give you these options that are not realistic for a baby, but just to show you what you can do. So there's number one. If you turn it up all the way, you can see there's before and after. It's a lot. There's number two, number three, 4, 5, and 6. 6 is not too bad because it's a lot more subtle. It's just adding a little contouring around his nose. This is an Asian baby, so he doesn't have deep eye sockets. So I wouldn't want to do something like that. But I just wanted to show you how that contouring could work. Particularly like if you did have a mom or something that you wanted to add a little bit of shadow and highlight without having to do it manually, you can always do it in here under the makeup tab, even if you don't actually want to add makeup. So there's before, there's after. I'm going to turn that contour off. I think it's too much. And then I'm going to go back up to my makeup here and I'm going to turn down the contouring there and just go somewhere in that neighborhood. So there's before, or there's after, there's before, there's after.